1 minute. So this was f of x, negative 2x plus 6. Perfect. Okay, so first of all, let's start with our little daily concept puzzle. What are the conditions for domain for these functions? Function 1, function 2, function 3. We don't have to find the domain. We just want to state the conditions. So what is the condition for the first one? Rakita, can you say that again?
Cannot be 0.
That's something, but I don't know what you mean. I'm not saying...
The denominator.
Excellent. Yes, perfect. That's done. What about for number 2? Perfect. Awesome. That's all I needed. Can anyone give us the condition for the second one?
1 minus x is greater than or equal to 0.
Brilliant. Who was that? Rebecca. Thank you. Awesome. Both of you. Great. For this one. So this was rational, this was square root, and this one is? Anyone?
Quadratic.
Yes. So what is the condition that I have to write for this one?
X cannot be equal to 2 for negative 2.
Domain for polynomial functions, all real numbers forever. There is no denominator, there is no division, that could be 0, division by 0. There is no square root of a negative number. This, for any number you want, you can always plug it in and you will find an output. No restrictions on polynomials. Good. Okay. We're trying to find the x and y intercepts for this function, so then we can move on and finish up this chapter. So, as we discussed, we have to first make x equals 0, y equals 6. So the first ordered pair is 0, 6. The second one, when x, I'm sorry, I meant to write when y is 0, negative 6 divided by negative 2. So the x and y intercepts are 0, 6, and 3, 0. That's all I needed from you on this one. Any questions? Anyone? Okay, the floor is open now before we start for any questions, anything you need help with, any assignment, anything you want to say. You let me know what you need help with. Anyone needs help with anything? Anyone? You can always stop. Yes, go ahead.
Can we do a couple more, or at least one more, where we have to find like the equation again, just going through that one more time.
When you say go into the equation, what equation?
It was like from the homework. Okay. Finding the equation.
You mean given 2 points?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say negative 1, 4, 3, negative 2. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So first we have to find the slope. Y2 minus y1, negative 2 minus 4, over 3 minus negative 1. So the numerator is negative 6, the denominator is 4, and we have to simplify and get negative 3/2. Is this first step clear? So we have 2 ordered pairs, we label them, x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So negative 2 minus 4, that will be negative 6. 3 minus negative 1 will be 4. We simplify by 2, and we get negative 3/2. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, because none of this none of these two is 0 comma b, I don't have that, I have anything else, I will use y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. You don't have to use this method, but I prefer writing underneath -1 and 4 and -3/2. Why? Because I don't really like nested parentheses. I'm not going to write x minus -1 because it's very easy to make an error later. So I'm going to directly write y minus 4 equals -3/2. X minus minus 1 will be x plus 1 because there are two negatives in here. Otherwise, I will have to write x minus -1 and parentheses. I don't want to do this. But it's up to you. I accept the method. You can write this. It's correct. But if you don't put enough parentheses, you may subtract. Who knows what can happen? The next step is I have to solve for y. I have to distribute -3/2 and then add 4. So let's do that. And this is page 2. So y minus 4 equals -3/2 x minus 3/2. This times this. Distribute to both, and then add 4. So y equals -3/2 x minus 3/2 and plus 4. Remember, here we have to find the least common denominator, which is 2. This is -3, and this one needs to be multiplied by 2. This is not a fraction line. Remember, this is the way I would like to, and I present this so then students understand what I'm trying to do. So since the denominator is 1, I multiply top and bottom by 2. So this is plus 8. So then just this addition will be 5 divided by 2. Final form, -3/2 x plus, because I incorporated a negative, everything here changes into 5/2. What does this represent? It's the equation of the line passed into the given points that we picked. Is that what you meant, Ratkita?
So this is the slope. This is y equals mx plus b.
Exactly. So now I did, by doing all this, yes, I also found the y-intercept. And this is the slope that we determined from the very beginning.
Got you. Okay.
Better?
Yes.
Perfect. Anything else? Anyone else needs help with other types of problems, or did you encounter anything? Is there anything you need help with? Okay, I would like to talk about two topics before we continue with R.5. And R.5 will be the last section of chapter R. So I'd like to talk about something called...
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes?
Can you go? There was an exercise that I couldn't do that was due today.
Was it from the written homework from Pierce? Okay.
Yes, it was from the homework.
Okay.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I was about to say.
Will you tell me what it was?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. Okay, right here.
Yes.
It was problem 64 from section R3. Would you please go over that?
Yes. So can you give it to us? What was it?
I'll have to log into Pearson.
Oh, okay. Do you have at least a page number?
I think it was 45, but I'm not sure.
There is a
I'm
chat.
sorry, give me a second.
There is a chat. Okay. So you said in R.3, I'm just going to say page 30. Let's see where it takes us. Okay. Does anyone have this problem, 64?
It's page 33.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this problem was exactly the problem that we did in class 63. So here we're asked to use the graph to determine the domain. So the domain is between 0 and 92.3. The range is between 0 and 6. And if you're marketing a new type of hearing aid, at what age group, especially a 10-year interval, would you target the advertisement? So I would say probably between 55 and 65, where the peak is. I will target this group because that's the maximum number of hearing impaired Americans in millions. Is this okay?
I'm sorry, I still don't understand. Can you go over this one more time?
Which part of the problem?
The C.
So as you see, the maximum is up here, right? So the number of hearing impaired Americans, so in millions, so 6 million. So I would target the age group between 55 and 65. That's where the peak is. So in the domain from 55 till 65, I will sell the most number of hearing aids where the maximum of the curve is. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very good. So I wanted to look at two topics before we continue and finish up this chapter. And one topic is, that's the basic one, the average rate of change of a function. Average rate of change of a function between 2 points. What does it mean, first of all? What is this concept? So let's say I drive from Baltimore to New York, and you want to know what was my average speed, rate of change of distance with respect to time. You're asking me about the average speed between Baltimore and New York. How will I find the average speed? I will determine the distance, which is roughly 200 miles. I will say to you, I used 6 hours. So distance, I should write here time first. So distance divided by time. So 200 miles between Baltimore and New York. I use 6 hours. And then that is the answer. 200 divided by 6. So I'll simplify 100 divided by 3. So on average, I will have 33 miles per hour. That's my average. So that's how we determine the average rate of change of any function between 2 points. So let's say we have a function, and the function is, give me any function you want. Let's work with a function that you can think of. Any function that you want to work with. And also give me 2 points. I just need the x, basically, and we'll determine the y. So can anyone give us a function? It can be quadratic, it can be square root, it can be rational. We already looked at these functions. It can be polynomial, of course. Any function. Anyone?
X squared plus 3.
Awesome. Let's say between time equals 1 and time equals 4. 1 hour and 4 hours. Can anyone plug it in and tell me the y value? I need the corresponding y value for x equals 1, and I need the corresponding y value for x equals 4.
4 for the first one.
Yes, of course. 1 squared plus 3 is 4. Perfect.
And 19.
Excellent. So the average rate for this function between 1 and 4 is the slope. 19 minus 4 divided by 4 minus 1. Whatever that gives us. So I have 15 at the top, and I have 3 in the denominator, so the rate of change is 5. If we say this is in miles, and this is in hours, what will be the measurement unit for 5? The measurement unit for 5 is the measurement unit of the y variable over the measurement unit of the x variable, always. The y variable over the x variable. What will I write as the measurement unit? Assuming y is in miles and x is in hours.
Miles per hour.
Of course, thank you very much. So please remember the average rate. So when we talk about rate or average rate or any change like that of a function with respect to a variable, the measurement unit consists of 2 measurement units. The one at the top coming from the numerator, which is the function, and the other one coming from the denominator, which is the x value. Okay, why do we need the average rate? Because based on this, I want to explain something that is very important in this class. So I'm going to stop this video.